Hello, human. Welcome to Tim and Joel Call It in the Ring, the podcast in which humans talk about pro wrestling. How are you doing, Joseph Pearl?
Question. Why isn't the alien mask's lips moving?
Because he communicates telepathically by transmitting his thoughts through the microphone. I'm saying his.
It was me all along. Tim.
Tim. What are we doing here, Tim? What is this?
I don't know.
Is this because you watched literally no wrestling this week? Is that what happened?
No, I watched literally all the wrestling, and then I had to watch Clash of the Castle very quickly. So it was like the Keystone Cops, where they're just like just like jumping around a lot.
Just piece by piece, you were getting it.
Yeah.
There we go.
You know.
Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Good to have you. Hello, friends. Hello, family. Does my family watch? Does your family watch? Your family's not watching.
Oh God, no.
No. I am currently Tim. Now we'll fix that. Hey, we do the show. It's Sunday. There is so much to talk about. There was a pay-per-view
an
last night.
absurd amount to talk about. It's too much even.
Yeah, let's get it out of the way. If you're here, hi, hello, good to see you. Let's do the thumbs up on the video because you like us. Leave us a comment if you're watching after the fact, because you want to get your predictions in for AEW All Out tonight, or maybe you want to get your opinions in over last night's Clash of the Castle. And you should subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked, because hey, we're pretty neat. We're good. We're fun. If you want to donate a super chat and support us financially, if you have the means, by all means, we appreciate that. We are fully self-funded and self-sufficient, so we appreciate when you help us out and give us your hard-earned cash to let us continue putting out our hard-earned content and hard work content here at Fightful Overbooked. And we have a Discord. There's a link in the video description below. Join us anytime you want, because that's what we do here. It's good to see y'all. How are you feeling? Did you enjoy 1 p.m. Eastern wrestling, Tim?
Yeah, it was refreshing. Yeah, I was on the road, so I had to watch it after, but it's cool.
I had a good time. Listen, the show was great. It was a lot of fun, and there was a lot to talk about. The end of the show is what most people are talking about, between the finish of the main event and everything that precedes that.
So many opinions I see, but I'll express mine. When we go through that's like the whole thing.
Yeah. So first of all, I talk about this all the time. Watching wrestling in places that are not the Eastern Standard Time Zone is a treat. If I can watch it on the West Coast, oh baby, I'm so happy to be done. If I were living in LA, let's say I'm living in California, and I got to watch Raw and be done with Raw by like 8 p.m., I'd be happier than anything. I can start Raw at dinner time, 5 o'clock. Like I could eat dinner, watch Raw, and then 8 o'clock.
On with your life. Do things that are fun. Yeah, out in the world.
Instead, we got to do it this way, which for better or worse, that's just how it is. Anyway, that's just my feelings about wrestling. I mean, especially when we got to do tonight, and tonight is going to be like a show that goes until midnight Eastern time, and then Tony Khan speaks for another 5 hours, and he's just like, I love talking about wrestling. I'm so excited. Everyone to talk about wrestling. And then at 5 o'clock, like the media can't get home because there's no way to get out of Hoffman Estates at that hour. They have to wait until the Ubers start up at around 6 a.m. So that's kind of where we're at in that case. You were saying?
I don't know. Stop going. If it's such a tedious thing.
I mean, I wanted to. I would have gone to. Actually, no. All Out is the one pay-per-view that I will not go to because of where it's held.
There you go. Yeah. Stand up for something.
If you stand up for nothing, you'll get trampled on by everything. I can't go to Hoffman Estates and because you can't you stay in Chicago and then you got to travel to Hoffman. You have to have a car.
Have you considered not staying in Chicago? Is that
where the hell am I going to stay?
Hoffman Estates.
There's nothing in Hoffman Estates. If there's like 2 hotels and they're booked up a year in advance.
You got to plan it. You got to know what they're going to do, where they're going to go, and then do it. I don't know. It's fine.
I know a lot of things, but this is one thing that I just can't wrap my head around. Coming to Hoffman Estate every year. I get that it's like tradition, and All In was here and All Out was here. And like, buddy, traditions are only as successful as like the amount of people you can cram in your building. and you can do more than 9,000. Whatever. I'm not doing this right now. I want to talk about other stuff. I'm excited for the show tonight. It's just the only thing that's ever stopping me from going to All Out is the fact that it's in Hoffman Estates. It's away from any like proper modes of transit after the show ends. That just bugs me. That's all. People are already like, no, they're just talking shit about AEW just to talk shit about. I'm going to say a lot of really nice things about the show tonight. I'm excited for it. But let's start with Clash at the Castle. That 6-woman. We don't need to talk about pre-show. It was fine.
No, we don't. We absolutely don't need to talk about the pre-show.
I mean, we listen. It's
good there was a pre-show. That's good.
And they had a pre-show match, right? Madcap Moss and the Profits won. So we're back to this. This will never end. We are back on the Madcap Moss train. The man will win all the titles, but first we'll start with the Universal Championship and then the WWE Championship. Anyway, Moss and the Profits win. Tez gets the pin. Good for him. And then we move to the main show. The 6-woman tag opens up. Bayley and Dakota Sky, Io Sky. They're calling Damage Control. They got a new theme. They take on Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. Good match. I mean, a lot of fun.
Match. Really enjoyed it. Bianca Belair once again looks like a star, even as she's finally getting pinned like once. That's fine. I have no issue with that.
Big fan of the Cardiff fans still singing that Bayley song, the Hey Bayley, I want to know if you'll be my girl. And the way that Bayley handled it was great.
Yeah, it's very funny. Good heel opportunity. Not a big fan of the new theme. It felt awkward to me. Like it doesn't flow.
Same. It felt like they were doing everyone else gets a hip hop style theme. All the women seem to get hip hop style themes.
Let's hire someone who can't rap to sing it or to do it.
In a perfect world, I promise you, Bayley wants like a what's her name? Paramore. What's her name? The Haley
Williams. Yeah.
Haley Williams. Yeah, she wants Haley Williams to do a theme for her. But that's not what's happening. But even if you wanted that, why wouldn't you ask for like a style of that? It's interesting.
Yeah, something that hip hop is a strange choice for this trio. Like it doesn't really make sense. And then the hip hop itself is not good. Like it's just bad hip hop.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I hope that they fix it up, but it just wasn't my favorite. But I did enjoy Michael Cole the entire night. Holy crap, he was on it. He enjoyed himself. He was clear. He was bringing back. He was talking history, like he was talking about Asuka and Io Sky and Mio Shirai, who was Io's sister. There was some really good stuff. Like he kept bringing up the past.
Yeah. It's nice. It's refreshing. He is reinvigorated. Not only does he have a new tremendous co-host, tremendous co-host in Pat McAfee, but now he's actually able to do his job without some old geezer like yelling nonsense into his ear. So that's nice. That's always nice.
I think it's really funny that like he spent 25, 30 years being yelled at and people being like, Michael Cole sucks, he's awful. And he's just like, no, I really love wrestling. I promise you. Like, I love professional wrestling.
It's just really hard to talk while someone is telling you what to say. Like you've seen 1,000 stupid movies where that's a trope. Like anyway.
It's very good to watch him now enjoy the fruits of his labor, because 25 years of like having that old man yell in your ear, and now he's like free to do anything and he runs that team. It's perfect. I'm all for it. Apparently you are Tim's younger brother, Tom.
I don't feel any younger. I wish I was.
The lack of glasses will do that.
Yeah, shooting a music video.
Oh, that's right.
Remote location. Yeah.
You got your big old coffee going too. Good on you.
Hold on. That's not the good side of the mug.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, Mom, that's right. I'm gonna take a swig too.
Yeah. Sponsorship not provided by PepsiCo, please.
No, Pepsi, get at me. I want that machine. Swig of coffee for the worker man. Anyway, I can't do the awesome thing in this hour. Wow. Gunther and Sheamus. Okay, we don't have much to say because everyone's already talked about it.
Oh my God, Mr. Gunt just pulling it out. One Imperium back. Hell yeah.
Yes. Giovanni Vinci has rejoined the group. He's going as that and not as Fabian Eichner. Whatever. I don't care. You know what?
Like they're actual human names, unlike originally. Like, not a big fan of Ludwig Kaiser still, but like, yeah, I don't know.
They still don't spell his name properly on the run sheets.
It's all awful.
But I mean, seeing Giovanni Vinci back, I want them to make a joke. Like, I'm hoping the Brawling Brutes do this. They do a joke about what he was doing in NXT with the photos and the screen caps. I hope they kind of harken back to that and just make fun of it. But it's good. This is great, because now that you have a third man on the Imperium side and Imperium is back, you can have a 6-person tag, 6-man tag in this case, and do it at Extreme Rules and make
that's
like
going to go hard.
match.
Like, yeah, that could be really, really excellent. So looking forward to that. This match.
Open hot, stayed hot. Loved all 6 men, not even 6 men. Love the 4 guys, the outside guys brawling to begin it, and then being rushed to the back just to give Gunther and Sheamus the absolute spotlight. And even the opening, again, they're brawling. Those 2 guys are just staring holes at each other. They're ready to go, and the match is great. And again, Gunther continues to do this thing that I love in wrestling, where it's not your finish that always finishes the match. In this case, it's a big old lariat, a Stan Hansen lariat, just beats the shit out of
brutal.
Sheamus.
Like, he just imploded all of the titty implosions for both men, and then just a massive lariat. Just
Sheamus posted a photo of himself after the match, and he's like, beat red stomach and all that. I want to see today. I don't know if he's posted anything today with an update, but like, I actually hope he doesn't do that. I hope he doesn't post anything. And then on Friday on SmackDown, he either posts a photo or he comes out and his chest is just like, I don't care if it's magic, VFX stuff.
Yeah, fake.
Just purpley and gross, and just be like, look what they did to me. I got massive. but he'd be over as a face, and he did a great job. Like, again, banger after banger after banger, and he was not lying, because that was match of the night, easily.
Big time. Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for Liv Morgan and Shayna following this, but actually they ended up putting on a much better match than most people expected.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. My expectations were beneath the floor for it, and it was okay. Like, it was good. Like, it had some moments. I think they did a good job with Liv in this, playing her as the underdog, and flowed well.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying in the chat, it's the same storyline as the Bloodline, as KO and Sammy with Imperium. But I don't know. I don't think. Oh, he's joking. Okay, fine. Just like, I don't understand where you're going. And okay.
You're trying to be like diplomatic about it.
You got me. Anyway, Liv and Shayna, absolutely. A really, really fun match. Really good match. Much better than it had any excuse for being. I'm ready for WWE to move past the plucky underdog, Liv Morgan.
Yeah, this one showed her kind of more as tough rather than like, she was still the underdog, but it's going in a different direction slowly but surely.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fine with Liv because of the way that she won the title. I know people are like, well, she was in a ladder match, so she was tough enough in the first place. But she's now a champion, and now she's got to take on champions one-on-one most of the time. Yeah. So she is the plucky underdog because she won by beating someone, who was already injured and had a match, blah, blah, blah. So I get where the story was. I get both sides of it. But I also am ready for them to move past the Liv Morgan story, where she's like, I can maybe beat you. Now she's got to beat people.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, like, I think this restores a little bit of confidence in herself, because that's the thing. I don't want to watch someone who's just like, oh, I don't think I'm good enough, and then she just ekes out a win every time. Like, no, we've seen her like show herself that she can do this. So now we can move on to something more interesting, and hopefully she can cut a promo that continues to improve. As she has been slowly but surely. They're getting a little bit better.
I can only assume that her and Ronda are going to do a thing. They're going to do maybe an Extreme Rules match of some sorts. And you know what? Toss in Shayna. Why not? Do a triple threat, and then have Shayna and Ronda come out of it as a tag team and Liv eking out the win again. And then we move on.
Before we move on from Clash at the Castle at the end, can we come back and talk about Ronda on SmackDown just before we go to AEW? Because I got some thoughts on.
I mean, we can do that now, and then we can divert. It's our show.
Yeah. This feels like the organic spot to do it. Adam Pearce is entirely correct. Ron, yes. Why are the people? What city were they in? What?
They were in Detroit because they did 2 nights. They did 2 shows.
Awful Detroit. Awful. Like, you're awful.
They
people.
were
Why are you
her
supporting
like
Ronda? She's completely in the wrong in this. This was very obviously like Adam Pearce is entirely justified in everything he said, all of his sentiment. Like, that was nonsense. Ronda's a bitch. There you go. Like,
that was an interesting segment, but everyone is talking about Adam Pearce after that, and he also tweeted out like
he merged he channeled 2 people there. There was a little bit of Hulk Hogan, there was a little bit of someone else, and I'm trying to remember who. Shawn Michaels. It was like a Shawn Michaels Hulk Hogan promo that he cut because he like affected his voice a little bit. It was funny.
So I know that we're gonna get Ronda and Liv again, but like they got to turn Ronda effectively, right?
I don't know what Ronda's supposed to be. They're treating her like she's stone cold, but Adam Pearce is not Vince McMahon. Like he's just a perfectly reasonable middle manager. Like he wasn't doing anything abusive. Like Ronda's just a sack of crap making his life harder than it needs to be. I don't understand. Like
it's true. It doesn't make sense, but whatever.
I'm not rooting for Ronda in that. Like, yeah,
well, that's
see.
the thing.
I don't know. The people in Detroit seem to think that everyone just doing their job in a position of management is a piece of shit. Like.
That's how you always treat the authority. That's what happens.
It's dumb though. It's so dumb. But she was good on the mic. I'm not ripping her promo for that. The delivery was good. It just doesn't make any damn sense to me.
This is probably the first time Ronda's felt comfortable on the mic, and I think a lot of that has to do with who's giving you your notes and who's telling you what you should say or how you should say it. I think I don't think that there are as many conversations about how you're supposed to say something. I think that there's a lot of conversation now about what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, and like, okay, so just for example, like a lot of bad acting and stuff really comes down to the director. In this case, it would be a producer in WWE. But like, as my wife has pointed out, she's an actress a bunch of times. Like, a lot of people who you think are like really bad actors end up going on to do like really good stuff with different directors. So like the director, the person who's guiding someone behind the camera has a lot of fault. Like look at Robert Pattinson and Kristen whatever. The other one from Twilight,
Stewart.
like Kristen Stewart. Thank you. The Twilight movies are terrible, but they've gone on to do very good films and like act quite well. So
yeah, no, I agree. It really does. It comes down to the it comes down to the chemistry that you have with your director if you are in the acting role. Same thing with producers in WWE, right? The agents, as they used to be called, the people who are helping put the matches together, make sure that the finishes aren't the same, from one match to the next, that things are different. A good producer is someone that you're going to want to keep around, right? That's why a lot of people wanted TJ Wilson to be their producer in the women's world. Molly Holly's now doing that. You've got Petey Williams is also, AJ Styles, I think for a while was having Chris Parks do that, the former Abyss. So there's a lot of that. Michael Hayes used to do all of John Cena's matches along with Pat Patterson when he was around. Yeah. So there was, again, when you find that chemistry and you find that synergy and you know who to work with, The Rock has Brian Gewirtz writing his stuff for him, and that's been for years and years. So much that now Brian is working on $7 with The Rock. Like when you find that person, you stick with that person, and you hope that your partnership remains strong throughout the entirety of your career.
Yeah, and I can't stress enough how collaborative this all is, right? It's not ever made by one person. So like this nonsense about like Vince McMahon being like the be all end all of it is like, no, he's worked with like thousands of people over the years. Piss off. So
yeah. Speaking of people who don't want to work with anybody anymore, Dominic turned on his father. Turns on his father by using his other father's move. I love it. Edge and Mysterio winning that match, first of all, was a little interesting. I think
I don't mind it.
Why didn't you mind it? Okay,
because as everyone has mentioned, they were like, oh, the Crown didn't get any big baby face wins. This was their big baby face win. It's fine. They chose the one that could handle it creatively. The Judgment Day is treading water. There's no clear direction on them yet, so I feel like they can eat this and it's not the end of the world because it doesn't have any momentum. Like it just doesn't make a difference who wins in this match as far as I'm concerned. So I think they did the babyface win kind of where they could in a way that wasn't going to screw up the future. Plus we got to see Edge do a terrible 619 of that.
It wasn't even a 647 for Christ's sake.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of good takes. 309.5.
It was good. Yeah, whatever. He comes out in that lucha mask, which, by the way, hilarious. The people that came out, which is like El Generico. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah. That's good.
Either way, so Edge and Mysterio win. It's a fine match. It's good because Balor can work and Priest can work. It's fine. Rhea Ripley beats up on Dominic as she should,
as you do.
And then at the end of the match, the story isn't that Dominic joins House of Black. The story is that Dominic kicks Edge in the balls because he's pissed off at him and he's pissed off at his dad for picking Edge as a tag team partner on him. So now the story. Go ahead.
And that's why I didn't mind this, because we needed to get here eventually. We've been calling the Dominic heel turn forever.
Someone was like, it was our friend JPJ from Love Wrestling. He was just like, tonight's the night, I can feel it. I'm like, dude, we've been saying this. This is the 527th time since March.
And you were wrong. You can finally. Anyway, it was good.
No, I knew it was happening. Come on.
Yeah. Like this was good. Like I like how they did it. You just kicked Edge right in the penis, who kind of no-sold it. It was weird. Edge made the decision to go, why? And
okay, I can explain this.
Okay.
I can explain this. Have you ever been kicked in the balls?
Yeah.
Have you ever been tapped in the balls? I'm talking like when someone does the backhand tap, the flick.
Yeah.
Which one hurts more? Yeah, which one hurts more? Immediately.
Honestly, yeah, the cup check, because I think the brutal kick to the balls, like there's such an overwhelming wave of pain. Yeah,
it's
that's
the
fair.
adrenaline.
You know what?
It's the adrenaline. Yeah. I can speak to this. I can speak to as a man who has been both kicked and flicked in the testicles before. I think most men can also do that. So anyway, I didn't hate it because I was like, oh, he got kicked. He was just like, why? And
what
the pain was. It was just there. It was great.
Yeah, that worked really well. And then he clotheslines Rey Mysterio, and now we get to see whether or not Dom Mysterio gets to keep being a wrestler or not. Is where I see this going, because like he needs to figure it out. They need to figure it out with him. He's got his stupid mullet. I already don't like him. So let's see how heelish he can get.
He's channeling his real father, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, exactly. Which
he should come out. He should come out with Rhea on Monday Night Raw, and the two of them should be a couple, a la Eddie Guerrero and China.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
You see it,
yeah, you see that's the stuff.
And I made the joke. I was like, Rey Mysterio always wanted his son to wear a mask, just never specified that it would be a gimp mask that Dominic wears.
Yes, do it. Yeah, it's funny.
Anyway, it was good. And so I don't even think that Dominic is going to side with Judgment Day. I think Judgment Day is going to be like, hey, you can join us now. And he'll be like, LOL, no. I'm going to do my own thing and beat up the legend Edge. And Edge might let him win.
Lose, yeah.
I'm fine with that, because this whole thing with Edge is that he's trying to put over young talent. And now it's Dominic's attempt time to shine. And
it's gotta work out, because if it doesn't, then like there's no path forward. So we'll see.
Rhea is indeed Poppy. But hey, so was China. It wasn't Eddie. What are you talking about? It was China in that relationship. Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle was another really good one. Again, every single match had a different story being told in it, which I appreciated. Seth taking advantage of Matt Riddle being super emotional and super upset throughout the entire match, and then eventually capitalizing with the stomp and the 3 was really good stuff. The match itself was just really good. And I said it on Twitter, I'll say it again. This match will probably go 3. They'll do another one maybe on Raw that ends in a DQ, and then they'll do some sort of plunder match at Extreme Rules. I can see that.
Yeah, totally. Because like the way they've been handling this is definitely like very like in olden days, this would end in Hell in a Cell. But I think the plunder match is the right route for it. Wrap it up at Extreme Rules. Like the way they've been going at each other, and they're like, yeah, you can talk about my real shit. Love it. Oh my God.
For all the shit that WWE did to cover up for Riddle when he was having the allegations put up against him, they stood by him. They stuck with him. I'm not here to talk about what is or isn't true, because I pass it, don't care right now. But the fact is, WWE did not fire him. They kept him. Now WWE is just like, listen, we did a lot of shit for you. He better be ready to do a lot of shit for us.
Open wide, Riddle.
Yeah, Riddle's probably like, whatever, bro. As long as I get up to the top of the card and you pay me well. He doesn't care. He'll be a clown for money. Most of them will.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, you just want to entertain. So
yeah.
And like again, it just breathes such new life into things when they dig into stuff like that. Because again, the line has been blurred forever now between like the kayfabe and reality. So like I don't mind. I like when they really dig into stuff like that sometimes.
And Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre in the main event. Tyson Fury was ringside. I mean, we all expected him to get involved somehow. Didn't expect it to be the way that he did, especially at the very, very end. We'll get to that in a minute. A good match with Reigns and Drew. Did you? Okay, so you're a fan who likes stuff in the. You're a lapsed fan, as I like to call a casual fan sometimes, but really, you're not the type of fan who's used to like plotting slower matches, which is the Roman Reigns main event style.
Yeah,
that's what this match
that literally
was.
I stopped watching wrestling kind of when when Roman was like, he didn't have an interesting move set. He still kind of doesn't. Like, that's not the, yeah.
So how did you feel about this match? Because it very much was the Reigns special, where it starts off slow and plodding, it builds. A lot of people were saying that this was a lot like a New Japan match in a lot of ways, because it starts slow, it goes long, and it builds to like a billion finishes that don't end up, having the finish.
Yeah, the big. I mean, because it hasn't really been the case. Like, we've gone through this Roman Reigns run has been varied quite a bit. Like, each title match has its own like very different approach. So I don't mind that they kind of leaned into something a bit more traditional, because it has been a while for it. Like you said, it's not necessarily my thing. I love Drew. So like, I don't mind when he's involved. Like, I think he did a lot to elevate this as much as he could. Yeah. It's fine. This was the match it had to be, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I don't know that it needed to be something different, because I just don't see Roman being able to work with Drew that well that quickly, unless it's
A lot of people bringing up the idea that it was going to be Roman's big night to lose. I personally wasn't on that train.
I just never got like, look, I am a massive Drew fan. It would have been very, very nice, but it would have screwed up creative again. It's just not the right decision here, because again, it's both titles and they need to try to separate them if they're going to keep them separate at all. So like, I just don't think it works. Like, it just isn't the right time. They've been written into this corner where Roman has both belts. Like, if Roman only had one belt, sure, but because he has both, this doesn't work for me, because then Drew has to step in and it doesn't feel the same, and then the bloodline story is completely derailed because the Usos still have their belts and all that. So like, it just isn't the right time. And I know people are, oh, make the fans happy, but it's like, no. You're like, I don't give a crap about the local audience at all. Like, the recurring thread is like a week-to-week program that builds on a narrative. Like, you're not going to demolish your creative week over week so that the hometown person gets to win. Like, I don't agree with that. Same thing with Sheamus not winning. Like, look, they both got a lot of time and a lot of shine in like their kind of sort of home region. Like, I think they did for them the best that they could without completely blowing everything up. Like, they couldn't have done that.
There is a time and a place for that type of storytelling. We didn't get there with Drew, but they did a really good thing that they convinced people. They made it more believable than ever that someone was going to beat Roman. They haven't. Nobody has talked themselves into the possibility of someone beating Roman since Brock, not even Brocket Mania. Like, that was Brocket Mania. That was it. That was the last time. And even then, people were like, it's going to be Roman retains and gets the titles. No one has really given us a feeling that Roman Reigns was done, or that he was going to lose a title. So
we
this
just
was the
celebrated
first time
his 2 years and stuff. It was good. Like, and that's the thing. You got to start sowing that doubt before it happens. Like, I don't think that, I don't need that big twist where everyone's like, oh, Drew's going to get coronated tonight. It just wasn't. It never felt that way to me. Not once.
I just thought the build was great because people were finally doubting Roman, and we need more of that. Like, you need your camera back. That's just what happens. It's back. I love Maggie's being like, I'm tuning in late. Why is Tim a TV game?
Yeah, I'm in a remote location filming a music video, so I didn't want to bring my very expensive microphone.
Good call. I can't blame you. By the way, check out Coexisting with Rob and Maggie on Fightful Overbooked.com. Fightfuloverbooked.com. That's what we do. So the match itself, again, they do all the finishes, and Roman Reigns retains over Drew McIntyre. After the match, Tyson Fury. Oh, by the way,
no, wait, hold on.
They did the thing. Austin Theory comes out and he's gonna try and cash in, and as he's running through, Tyson Fury just socks him in the jaw,
and it looked so good. It looked very good. Take that. Yeah. Are you sure that Triple H is still a fan of Austin Theory?
I'm positive. I just think they're trying to reshape the Austin Theory story.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
The problem is the Money in the Bank briefcase for so long has been a guy who loses a billion times once he obtains the briefcase and then cashes in and he wins the title, and everyone's like, oh my God, when really they need to build up this person as like someone who could actually feasibly win the titles. I think they're going to stick with it through WrestleMania. If it's Cody who challenges Roman, or whenever Cody comes back, wins those titles, I have a feeling Austin Theory is going to cash in on Cody and like immediately take it away from Cody.
That's
do the
funny.
Josh Alexander Moose story from
I like
Impact,
that. Yeah.
and then they'll have to rebuild it again. People are going to be so up in arms over it, but it would be the best possible time.
It sounds really, that sounds really interesting to me. So who's open?
Or he's going to go after like the U.S. title again, which is silly because he's been the U.S. champion before.
Yeah.
Do they split the titles by Survivor Series? What do you think? Because they're doing the Raw versus SmackDown stuff again.
Okay, so that's the thing. Splitting the titles in some way at Survivor Series, I think would be really good. Do some very strange gimmick match that ends up like do the first fall, second fall thing at Survivor Series. I think that makes a lot of sense because then it breathes some renewed life into Survivor Series, because at this point I feel like it's getting a little bit stale. Like I've been saying that the last few years. Like we've done this podcast now for 2 years. The last 2 Survivor Series we talked about, I was like, it doesn't do anything for me anymore.
Yeah. Now, problem is you got to pin Roman to do that, or you have a multi-man match with Roman involved.
That's what I'm saying. Multi-man match with Roman involved. Do two pinfalls or something.
We talked about that here.
Yeah,
we talked about Clash of the Castle being Cross, Drew, and Roman, so that they could have Drew get the moment by pinning Karrion Kross, and then Roman Reigns has a reason to win back the titles next Friday.
But here's the thing: like I think Survivor Series is like the right place to do it. Is the right place to break up Roman's rule.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that too. So Tyson Fury knocks out Austin Theory. Then they go to the finish. Reigns beats Drew, and Tyson Fury gets in the ring, shakes everyone's hand, and then grabs a mic and starts doing his post-boxing thing, which is singing Sweet Caroline and trying to pop up the crowd. But the crowd's like, we just watched our homeboy lose.
He normally sings it after he wins because he always wins. Like
all they had to do, honest to God, was have Fury put over Drew McIntyre like he did, and then Drew give an impassioned speech about trying and losing, and then go off the air singing something that people would have known, because both songs that they picked, not the right tune. It was weird.
Oh,
but I said this on the I said this elsewhere, but it felt like they were running this long because they wanted them to kill time so that the production truck could finish the wrap package that they were working on. And they've done that before.
They have,
if you go back and watch WrestleManias from the past, it was exactly that. It was them just getting the packages done so they stay in the arena a little bit longer. It was just this one was just a poorly done finish, like a poorly done post-match thing. It was Here's what it is. Oh yeah, and Solo Sikoa came
Solo though, yeah, they've added more to the bloodline, which I also like. I like, because it's going to be prolonged a little longer. I think that enhancing the bloodline is the right call.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been thinking about that for a long time. We knew that Solo was coming up. Unfortunately, didn't join Hit Row like I said he would. I guess the next group to join Hit Row is gonna have to be Legado del Fantasma, and we'll just have to go from there, right? Yeah. Wait until Nikita Lyons comes up and joins Hit Row.
Don't you put that out in the world? What are you doing?
We got to talk about NXT for a minute because Throwback just gave us some bits. Said this spot was a perfect time for Solo Sikoa making his presence felt. I'm sad that he's gone to the main roster since I love NXT. It made perfect sense. This adds another layer to the bloodline. Give Sammy room to go with Owens for a tag run. What are our thoughts? I mean, I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were just saying. Yeah.
It feels like they'll do Solo with Jay, and then Sammy with Jimmy, and then eventually they'll kick out Sammy and Jimmy will be like, no, you were always not our brother. This is literally our brother. And then it'll be Sammy and KO going for the tag titles. And that's fine. I'm good with that. And I want them to be like, we just want the Raw tag titles. We'll stay on Raw. Just give us the one tag titles. Again, we'll split the tag titles again and have them properly in one show.
Again, Survivor Series. There you go.
And I understand in the chat they're talking about. I understand the chat. We're talking about the karaoke thing is a British thing. Yes.
Oh, I know. We're all. Yeah.
Believe me, we hear the chants and we see this stuff. It was very strange to do that. The loser was the one leading the conversation or leading the chants or whatever it was.
Yeah, which again, I think it's just, suffered by the creative plot lines they were given to get into this. They wanted to do some things, but it's tough. So you have to kind of shoehorn in some stuff.
So all in all, good show. Sets up a lot of really cool stuff for Extreme Rules next month. I'm excited to watch Raw on Monday, and I'm excited to watch SmackDown on Friday. And Worlds Collide is tonight. It's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern. We don't need to run down the card, but it's going to be a really strong show. 5 matches, takeover style. It should be in and out. We should be done by 6 p.m. Eastern. And I honestly, I think Braun Breaker is going to win that unification match. I do.
You think? No.
But the thing is, if I could also see Tyler Bate winning and sending Braun Breaker up to main, but I don't think Braun Breaker is ready yet.
I don't think you need him up there yet. Like, you don't need him. He's not quite ready. Like, I think there's still some polish there. So
there's another Braun coming back to WWE supposedly on Monday.
Yeah, exactly.
So
still no Sasha and Naomi yet, eh?
Yeah, they're taking their time on that. It should be fun. I'm gonna see. Throwback with more bits saying with Sosko on SmackDown. Is there a chance to see NXT rematch of Walter, aka Gunther, versus Sikoa for the Intercontinental Champion and add more gold to the bloodline? I mean, they could do it. I don't see Sikoa beating Gunther.
I think it hurt. Again with the Sheamus thing, like he's got to hold that title for a while. I feel like a while. He has to dominate like he did when he was the UK champ. Like he's in order to really build him, you need to solidify him on the main roster in the exact same way they did in UK.
Exactly. I'm not. I'm really nervous right now. Hello, Sean Ross Sapp.
Just giving you guys the rub. What's up?
How are you doing?
Howdy.
You know why we do the show Sundays at noon, Sean?
Because you assume I'm not awake yet.
Because we assume that no one's gonna find us. So we can talk our shit and no one's gonna do anything.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Well, listen, right now you're being buried by Velveteen Dream filming people's penises. So
oh, really?
Yeah. Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, so this is a story that I had heard over 2 years ago from EC3 directly, and he finally told it to Sportskeeda, and I had it backed up, but I couldn't get it on the record. But as Seahawk put, when none of his peers stood up for him, you see why. And he told a story that they had a bit of a party for people at NXT, and they were at his house, and he was using the restroom, and he noticed that a phone was propped up in a manner in which would be visible from the toilet. And he looked at the phone and it was actively recording. So he took the phone, he deleted the video. He then put the phone back. He waited to see who was going in and out of the bathroom. And even as he told me, he was like, I probably looked weird running in and out of there myself. He's like, but the first person that walked in was Dream, and he came out and the phone wasn't there. I don't believe he's said anything about like confronting Dream, but from what I had been told back then, Dream kind of like tried to deflect blame of that.
Oh.
But that's a big and I don't think management knew about this. I don't think that they were aware of it. And I just thought this was the perfect place to tell this story.
Thanks. Did you? Thanks. Did you? Goddamn. Did you ever hear this? You've heard the story of was it Zack Ryder talking about the Cody Rhodes hog checker story?
No.
It's very, very simple. I think it was either Zack Ryder was claiming that Cody Rhodes was a hog checker in the back, or the other way around. I'm pretty sure it was Zach saying Matt Cardona saying that it was Cody, but that was just the whole thing. Like he went on a full tirade about that. But that's not going to overtake the story that you just.
Yeah, but I mean they're buddies. They're like best friends. So I mean, like it's probably
it was always good fun. It was
ribbing
very,
them.
That was
very
in jest.
Yes.
This isn't that. This is definitely something that. I had heard of, and holy shit, I tried to get it on the record, and there was a lot of stuff, off the record about Dream back then, because I mean, a lot of people were still fearful at that point that politics could play into a matter, because let's be real, an insanely talented performer is Velveteen Dream. I think that is undeniable. And unfortunately, far too often in pro wrestling, that can make you immune from any punishment, anything. And as we saw with Speaking Out, a lot of times that can lead to a whole lot of people not coming forward about things as a result of that, because they are fearful of how that may affect them in any way of life. Now, I know that a lot of people think a lot of things of EC3. Do I think he's an edgelord that makes bad jokes? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Do I think he's a Nazi? No, I do not think he's a Nazi. but this is a story that he told me when he was still in WWE, and it got backed up by somebody, but they were both off the record. So I couldn't just go blurting that out. But when anybody would ask me about Velveteen Dream, I would be like, he ain't coming back. He's not coming back.
That's just some low effort Chuck Berry stuff right there. That's what that is. Like,
yeah.
Did nobody think to ask yesterday in the media scrum about Velveteen Dream's status with WWE?
I mean,
why are we talking about him?
That's the joke, is that every time there's a media call, people say, why didn't you ask why Velveteen Dream was fired? Well,
we all know.
Man. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Oh, man.
He came in at a good time. We were just wrapping up the Clash of the Castle recap. So,
yeah, we just finished talking about Clash of the Castle. We were about to start AEW stuff. We're going to start talking about All Out tonight. Sean, what match are you most looking forward to there?
What am I most looking forward to? The 3.5 hour post-show review that I'm going to have to do to cover 15 matches.
That's fine. You've also got to sit through a 3.5 hour media scrum with Tony Khan. Not you.
But I love Julie. She's chatty. We're going to have to scale back some of the analysis on the 0 hour. Kate asks why I haven't fired Velveteen Dream. Yeah, that's the question, is everybody would be like, refuse to ask anything else until this is answered. Sorry, bud, that ain't gonna work. We've all got our own assignments, and just because we don't ask the specific question that you want us to ask does not mean that anybody's afraid to ask it. It's just we don't want to burn a question.
Yeah, I feel like the vast majority of people would rather have, real questions answered.
Yeah, ones that will actually. I mean, come on. Do some of these questions need to be asked? Yeah. Was I asking people every week backstage? Yeah, I was. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that are like, ask about the AEW women. Well, shit, I do every week. Every single week I'm asking people about it. That's why we give analysis on Wednesdays. But
I think people assume that, like, anyone who's asking these questions or anyone who's talking about wrestling, like, turns their brain off and doesn't do any work until the shows are on.
I wish.
And then after, yeah, exactly. Like, that's clearly not the case. But everyone's just like, why aren't you asking about this? What the hell do you think is going on before 8 o'clock or whatever the time the show starts? Like, what do you think is happening here?
I couldn't get sleep last night. I swear to God, I don't want to use the term PTSD because I think it's dramatic, but from covering that MJF shit and just the way that people acted after that, like, I woke up and I was like, man, I'm not excited to cover whatever crazy bullshit happens today.
Yeah, like, it's gonna be a long day. But also, so the thing about the whole, like, 15 matches thing, yeah, way too many. 0 hour, like, it feels like on an hour show, you got 4 pre-show matches. Look, Hook and Angelo Parker's probably gonna go maybe 3 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
Pac and Kip Sabian's probably gonna be the longest match. Ishii and Kingston, I mean, they could do a fuck finish, and that's that. I mean, I don't want them.
They could do 5-6 minutes of beating the shit out of each other, and Eddie pins. I mean, because they did their great match in New Japan earlier this year, and Ishii won, so I think that they could go with Eddie Kingston. But wow, Kate doesn't have a mod wrench over here.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not giving mod powers to people who aren't normally on the channel. What am I doing here?
That's fair. That's
but
fair.
All I'm going to say about 15 matches is that, so when AEW started doing pay-per-views, right? So it was like 9 match cards, but every match was like a 20-minute special, and not every match needed to be a 20-minute special. Yeah. And I think now I'm going to hate everything right now. And now I think that we have 15 match cards because they can do a 5-minute match here and there, and it's not going to completely screw up the rest of the show, the flow of the show. That's my opinion on the whole, the 15 match card.
I feel like they should, if they're going to do that, make it a week-long event and do stuff at, like, do some of these matches on Rampage. Why wasn't Hook and Angelo on Rampage?
We say that shit every week on this show. We talk about that. It was the same thing with what other match was it? It was Jade and Athena could have been the main event of Rampage this past week.
Could have been the main event of Dynamite too, because it's the TBS title.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. It works. There's so many, again, having 3 6-man tags when your trios championship is supposed to be a main focus feels a little strange to me. I don't know why we're doing 3 6-man tags. It's just a lot of stuff that was just thrown together feeling last minute.
No, Joel, FTR explained to you why they're doing it. It's for their legacy.
Jeremy and I host a show called Newsworthy on this channel, and we dropped a conversation about that article with FTR talking about their match against the Young Bucks as it was supposed to be. Jeremy Lambert, how are you?
I'm about to take a nap because I'm going to be up until 3 a.m. listening to Tony Khan.
Sure are.
We just talked about
things. Yeah.
Oh,
Otherwise,
God.
I'm doing well. I came to say hi to Tim because I don't talk to Tim ever.
Yeah,
I talk to these other two dorks all the time.
It's because I hide here Sundays at noon. I'm afraid of the internet. Y'all seem to deal with a lot of crap.
How did he know it was me is what I want to know. How did he know it was me that removed him from the stream instead of Joel?
You gave it away with your facial expression, Sean.
Fair. Okay, that's fair.
I was just like, oh, we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled programming. This is great. Throwback with the bits saying this is perfect. This is for all four of us, I guess now. Yeah. With word that Triple H said that NXT is not considered developmental. Could you or should you consider the undisputed champion actually have dispute since Roman does not have the NXT champion? So basically, should Roman also hold the NXT title? Isn't the meaning of undisputed? I'm not sorry. I'm not going to read through all this, but
we got the
yeah. Shouldn't Roman be the champion of everything, including NXT? Who wants to field that one first?
Does he get the NXT Europe title like immediately? Did they just like hand it to him on the first episode?
Here you go.
They're gonna melt it down and put it on a chain.
What do you guys think they're gonna do with that title? Do you think they're just gonna bring back the European title and put it over there?
That UK title is so beautiful.
It is
that it cannot be remade with the new whatever logo they need, because they called that the WWE UK title, right?
Yeah.
They can easily just rename it the WWE European Championship, and it's that title because it's a beautiful looking belt.
It is, but I mean, it's about to get unified.
Yeah, but is anything ever really unified? Roman's holding two belts.
I mean,
he's not combining them.
That's fair. I mean, they literally did that with every title in 2002, and then they're just like, "No, we're gonna bring that back." Like 3 months later, when they realized it was stupid.
Yeah.
Who was the last? Who was the last European champion?
I thought it was really.
I don't know.
No, I feel like it got. I think it all eventually went to Triple H. I think. Legitimately, it was RVD, and then
then they did the match with the hardcore title.
No, it was with the IC title.
The IC title. Oh.
So they unified it with the Intercontinental title.
Right.
So RVD.
Well, there you go. Triple H could just hand the European title to somebody. Be like, I was the last person to hold this. Now we're gonna hold a tournament, and that's how you crown a new champion.
Do we do a second mid-card title on NXT or what?
Well, they have a North American Championship, so the European Championship should be the secondary championship right there. Or maybe the UK Championship is
maybe just treat it like a house show title or something, you know?
That's a 24/7 title.
Oh, are they still running that even?
You bet.
Off TV? Oh my God. Okay.
It exists. What was the last I was going to bring up here? I can't remember. It's not important.
I can't find a picture of RVD with the European title. It's sad.
It doesn't exist.
All that matters is that Al Snow was the best European champion of all time.
Always, yeah.
This is disrespect to D'Lo Brown. This is disrespect.
I will disrespect D'Lo Brown because D'Lo Brown didn't come out with different countries every single week.
No,
that's good. It's a good bit.
What was what were we doing?
Oh yeah, just to that question, like no, NXT is developmental, probably more so than ever in my feeling. And Triple H saying that is just like it's like Tony Khan saying there's no mid-card titles for AEW. It's just say whatever you want. It doesn't make it true.
Here's an interesting one. Who's the second longest reigning European champion of all time?
Jeff Jarrett.
Matt Hardy. 4 months.
4 months. Oh my God.
4 months.
Got a
the
lengthy
Ultimate
reign.
Attitude Era Championship, the European title.
Wow,
I love it. I love it.
Oh God. Okay. Can we shift back to All Out for now?
No, bye.
Okay, bye. I can't blame him. He's got to talk about this shit for hours.
I will stick around a little. I was in the middle of lunch and I wanted to say hi, and I am going to take a nap. It's going to be a long night, guys.
Oh, that's a good idea. I would also do that. Here, you get to be
I'm Cher Delaware. Yes. Look how beautiful I am. God, Cher got so ugly. I'm sorry.
Did you see the you saw the photos? Her giving the stuff to Dax. The booze. Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Oh, so we talked about control your narrative for a second because EC3. They were talking about the EC3 Velveteen Dream story, the penis talk. Did you? I don't think any of you saw this. The CYN guys, control your narrative guys, are coming to Quebec to do a show with a company called FML. And the first thing I said was, none of them are going to make it across the border.
No, not a single one. Is that the same show as Minoru's on, or is that a different show?
I hope not. It's October.
Oh my god, I hope not. I don't know if it's
revolving door here.
Minoru.
FML. It's like Frontier. I was talking to Kate about this. The Control Your Narrative Montreal show, the Quebec show that none of the guys are going to be able to make it across the border for.
I like how this is now just become a puppet
with
show.
Jeremy being the owner of Fightful, I just want to know why he hasn't fired
Well, apparently he fired your internet
fire you for your terrible internet still.
Yeah.
That's what I should do.
Minoru is in IWS in Quebec, not.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
It's just so strange to have CYN show up in Canada. It's like, well, there's no narrative to control. We're okay here.
They just will not. Maybe Alberta, they could get smuggled in, but I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Who's the Joker tonight, guys?
Darius Martin.
Oh, Darius Martin.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano.
Donnie Gargano.
Donnie Gargano. It's just Johnny Gargano in the Groucho Marx.
Yeah.
The glasses.
Yeah,
and he's carrying his son to the ring.
It's Ric Flair.
This is Will.
Oh gosh.
See, that's terrifyingly plausible.
Yeah. No, I like the idea of Darius Martin because if you look in the match, everybody in the match has a buddy, except for Dante, which is kind of cool. Yes. But I'm gonna stick with that. It's Samoa Joe coming back.
That's fair.
Mimosa Joe, Ragosa Joe.
Damn right.
I don't know about that. What if it's Adam Cole, baby?
I pop for that too.
I didn't think about Adam Cole.
I think it's Bebe.
Really?
It's definitely not MJF.
No, I don't get the talk that people think.
Me neither. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
He's like, yeah, I'm coming back for this. Like, yeah, no.
That doesn't make any sense.
I had a long, hard talk with Tony Khan, and he said, if I come back, he'll give me a plum spot as the Joker. And I was like, sign me up.
I
hope my baby's not sleeping right now.
That's such a waste of a pop because like MJF is going to get a pop and the Joker spot is going to get a pop. So why would you double down on that? It's a weird idea in general, but I think they have told us to keep our expectations tempered with the Joker spot in the past. Like there's been a couple times where the Joker has been like a letdown and then they surprise us with someone on Dynamite like Miro or whatever. So I like the idea of it being someone from injury, like Adam Cole, Darius Martin, Samoa Joe coming back from the TV series. But the way I look at it is like, if Punk wins the title, Joe and Punk is so much money. If Mox retains the title, which I don't think he's going to, Mox and Joe is still so much money. But like, you could set up Joe and Punk at Grand Slam, at a pay-per-view, whatever. So I think it could be really fun.
The problem is, I was told that Samoa Joe, he really misses being in WWE.
I mean, he is 6-1 with a title, but that's terrible booking. So
he hasn't been on TV in forever, though. So.
Throwback thinks the Joker spot is Gresham.
That wouldn't be bad if they could like smooth things over.
I was about to say, did they smooth things over? Like,
yeah, I don't. Doesn't feel like they have. Everybody's been kind of silent on that, and Tony Khan, of course, does 500 media appearances a week, but nobody is asked about Jonathan Gresham.
Why bother? Why ask about Jonathan Gresham? He's going to be Impact bound any day now.
You've got to ask about like, what's the deal with ROH? You got the TV contracts yet? Instead of asking about stuff that's happening in ROH, just keep asking the same question everybody's asked regarding ROH.
Joe did tweet last night. Joe did tweet, and Joe never tweets, so maybe that's Joe's way of saying
perennial tweet. Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe that's the way that Samoa Joe, Mimosa Joe tells us he's coming back. It's the way I would do it.
A single tweet once a year. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just a single tweet being like, listen, I'm not telling you I'm coming back, but I'm coming back. And that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I've been checking MJF's Twitter to see if he has tweeted anything.
Nah,
because they gotta reintroduce him. They gotta reintroduce him, Joel.
Nobody knows a video package. Yeah, I think
we'll know who this
single
man
wrestler coming out needs a video package, and it should just run picture in picture throughout the entire show. Whenever someone comes out, like House of Black comes out, we get a Malachi Black picture in picture. Who is this guy? And none of it makes sense because it's House of Black.
I forgot since last week who everybody was, so I'm gonna need a lot of video packages.
They need previously on before every episode. That way it reminds everyone what happened last week.
Okay, in that way that it kind of spoils what's going to happen this week.
Hold on. I actually do kind of like the previously on, because like it's the perfect reset for the week. It's the perfect setup for whatever the big matches are, the big stories are. It catches you up because again,
Lucha Underground did that, yeah.
Yeah, Lucha Underground. WWE does that every week, and they kind of do it in a way that gets a little obnoxious. The WWE way, because their vision was always you approach every single show as if there's someone watching for the first time. And I get that. That's a good way to set up if you're an episodic TV show. There are better ways to do it for sure. And I wish AEW would use some of those tropes. Again, there's always a middle ground. I don't want them to do it exactly like WWE, but I'd like them to set up a little bit more of like, in case you missed it, this is what happened. They don't do enough of that, in my opinion.
Like they do sometimes. They like sometimes with like some of the New Japan guys, they've shown me who the hell they are because I don't know. I have no idea, and I will never know because I don't care. But like sometimes they like put people over for me, and I get it. Like, there's a few New Japan guys I'm into now, so I recognized Ishii and I recognize Minoru Suzuki. So
yeah. I love this Gresham to the NWA. I want to see Gresham versus Tyrus.
Man.
Not even Gresham would just make that fucker look good.
No, that's exactly what I would expect to happen. Like,
but I gotta say, Trevor Murdoch made Tyrus look all right for that match. It was actually, it was actually okay.
This was fun.
It was good.
I'm out. Thought I would do like a fun little pop on here, join in the conversation. I stream with some people I don't normally get to, but Joel saying that Tyrus looked okay on the back of Trevor
because
Murdoch's
someone carried his ass.
Well, I want to bring this chat up. Melissa says, "Wonder if they put MJF as vigilante like Sting was in WWE 2015." Here's a better comparison for you. Sting sat up in the rafters for all those years and then finally confronted Hogan in the NWO. I don't understand why Tony Khan is giving away his Sting Hogan on the 0 hour and Kip Sabian and Pac, because Kip Sabian sat in the crowd for like a year, and then finally now we're getting the big match with Pac, and he's just giving it away for free. I feel like he's leaving lot of money on the table.
It's like a firework that doesn't work. Like just you light it and then it just kind of fizzles on the ground. Like
a lot of money given away.
Honest to God, like I thought you were about to say you put a box on MJF's head and you put him in the front row for a year.
Just take over.
But it's true though, like to a certain degree. Listen, I know you're being a little facetious, but
never.
Never. Kip versus Pac. If you're gonna pick one All Atlantic Championship match to happen on AEW, it should be like some brand. It should be on the pay-per-views only. I want the All Atlantic Championship to be the championship that only exists outside of AEW, except for that one pay-per-view of the year where we got to put it on the card, but it's got to be better than reintroducing Kip Sabian.
Hater on Kip Sabian. There's a lot of title matches on this show.
Actually, huge Penelope Ford. It's not okay.
I think it would be cool because Ishii was injured for that 4-pack if he came and challenged Pac after.
That would have been good. Yeah.
Well,
he's going to lose to Eddie Kingston, so.
Yeah.
So he'll automatically get an All Atlantic Championship match.
Like, I don't know. They spend all this time. Like, they have material to draw on. They just don't. We just get thrown together stuff. Like, I don't know. Like I said, Kip and Miro would have been more interesting to me. I don't know why we're just doing this random thing that I guess has story, but I don't know it because I don't pay attention to literally everything all the time. Like,
I initially
should, Tim.
I have other interests. I'm filming a music video. I'm like,
wow. Why do you have other interests? It's wrestling only.
I know. Apparently, one-dimensional
humans. Like anything else.
So this comes up all the time. I see the big problem is too many titles. When the All Atlantic Championship was introduced, I said the only way that this works for me personally is if this is the title that's outside of AEW. That this is like the welcome to AEW lore title, and they've done that, and it's great. When they gave it to Pac, I'm like, oh, suddenly Pac's gonna work the British Indies, and like the next day they announced him working like Pro Wrestling Revolver, and I'm like, here we go. Stuff like that, fine by me. I love that shit. But there are a lot of titles there. Just you know, gotta do the right thing.
Wow, spoken like someone who understands these are the only interests you're allowed to have are wrestling and wrestling and wrestling. This guy. I like music. And the baby.
Yeah, who likes music?
The only music you're allowed to like is if it's wrestling music, like
Pro Wrestling entrance theme.
Or,
yeah.
So
terrible hip hop and new metal. Got it.
Actually, yeah, Jeremy, Kate, what do we think of that Damage Control theme? The new Bailey's.
If they're getting rid of EO's theme like altogether for this, absolutely not. The Damage Control theme is just EO's theme.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with that.
EO's theme bangs.
I think they're trying to hold out, and Bailey's trying to get Haley Williams to do a theme for them. Because she's a ginormous Paramore fan, and they're pally pals. Because like
massive heels, Paramore.
Whatever, I don't care. But
they have Diet Paramore. They have the ones that did Rebel Heart around, right? That's basically that's Diet Paramore.
It sounds very similar. They could just get them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about the Diet Paramore. That's good stuff.
I do in general like when a stable has one theme, but Jeremy's right. Like EO's is such a banger. But like
even Coda's.
Yeah, Coda's is great too. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that she's like on main roster television regularly. But like for something like a 6-woman tag, like I like that they had one unified presence. And then if you have your singles matches breaking off of that because they're not the tag team champions for some reason, I think it's good to maintain the individuality, but to also have like a cohesive stable theme for sure. But that's the insight of someone who only likes wrestling.
Mox and Punk, because people are going to start asking, hey, where's the AEW review or preview? Who cares about wrestling? But Mox and Punk.
Isn't this show only an hour long? Why are you guys going
long?
We're
over now.
Yeah, sometimes we go over. We did 75 minutes.
Why are we going long? I wonder why.
Yeah, so much to talk about.
Oh, Kate's here, so I guess just by proxy, every show just has to be about an hour extra long.
Dude, I did True Heel Heat yesterday, which was so much fun. Those guys are awesome.
Don't put them over; they're awful.
Fuck
I hate
SB3.
No, SB3. Sorry, I was awesome on that show.
Did you ask them where their next episode of True Rewind is? Because I haven't gotten a new one from them.
Wow. Let's not take shots.
I'm not. They know I love them. They know I love them.
Aggressive. But I was like, oh, you know what? Like I did the SmackDown review yesterday. I was doing the Clash review on Select. I was like, this will be easy. It'll be like a 1 hour, a quick breeze, and it was like 3 hours long.
Oh yeah, that show. I love those.
I didn't realize
that is a long show. Like that show usually goes about like 2 hours, and so yeah, you had that's an extra hour, so that's
exactly
completely understandable.
Look, I pull my own audio now, and I set up my own broadcasts. All right,
dude, it's much appreciated. Much appreciated.
I have a feeling that Kate and Alex sit there with like the YouTube channels open, just being like, "Are they still going? Are they still going? Okay, we're gonna keep going." And they're just like, "We have to be the last ones off the air. I don't give a shit who's going."
The ratings war.
We finish. That's right. It's a big war.
Well, I knew the Bray Wyatt news was gonna break yesterday. Because Sean had posted it that like after the post show, and I was like, dude, we're on Select, like posted during our show. And I was like, what am I saying? We'll be going for 700 hours anyway. That'll the subscriptions and the buzz will go over there. But like it's become so many because Alex just like does impressions and people request impressions. Like it's literally probably a half hour of people just being like, sing this song as William Regal, sing this song as Nathan Fraser. It's my favorite part of the show. I never get requests for anything I'm doing. I just sit back and make Alex do impressions for like 40 minutes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna jump off after I say one thing because I do want you guys to get back on track, and I don't want to. Joel, pull your own audio for this. Alex Pulowski is the absolute best. The man, first off, he has to put up with Kate. That's a trouble.
Oh, that's a huge problem. Yeah.
Yes. Doing the one-man show all the time. He's got his own channel now. He's doing gaming streams. He did the big stream yesterday, then jumps on and plays Last of Us. I believe that's what he played for a couple hours last night. bless Alex Pulaski. I'm glad he is doing like more and more content with this stuff because he is absolutely fantastic. So Alex Pulaski, you rule. That's all I'm going to say. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Thanks,
Jeremy.
Bye. Kate, am I showing up to do the NXT stuff with you guys tonight or what?
Am
I gonna make an appearance?
I messaged Alex because we have to go from that review into All Out.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe we'll do like a beat the clock thing, and then I was thinking about having you come on to handle, because if we get super chats, like we're not gonna have time to do anything before we roll over. So I thought it might be fun to bring you on to handle the super chats part after we bounce, but we're still figuring that out. But it's gonna be like a 3 minutes, Alex. I think it's going to be really fun to see us try and do like 45-minute review.
We got the timer on the clock. Let's go. Luis, thank you for the super chat. Saying Peeps asking Alex to do rap songs. I got to clean them up.
He legitimately, we would have gotten so canceled if Luis wasn't editing out. Like, there's somebody who will spend so much money on like 6 different songs to try and get Alex in trouble, but without Luis.
Amazing.
He saves our bacon every time.
Let's I guess. Oh man, we haven't even talked about All Out in the fullness of it.
We're gonna have to cruise through it, man.
Absolutely. You got stuff to do, and I got to take my baby out for a walk. Let's just get right to the top.
You have to walk your baby?
Yeah. Did you know that babies need to go outside every single day for my own sanity? It also gives my partner a chance to take a nap because she very much deserves one, and a break. So I'll take him out for 2 hours. That's all you get to know about my personal life. Jon Moxley versus CM Punk. Do we have a new champion, or what's going to happen? What's the finish here? Kate, what are we doing?
Punk walks out champion, but he needs the help of the only guy to beat him in Chicago, to win in Chicago again, on the back of MJF, who of course had a title shot against Mox and lost. So there's some fun story there. That's my prediction for the end of this.
Tim?
I mean, that sounds okay. I honestly, I don't. There's a big part of this build has been Chicago, and I don't get it because I don't give a shit about Chicago or I don't get the city pride. So like, so I would love Mox to retain, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I think we are going to see. I think we're going to see Punk win. And I think we're going to see, I just have this feeling that they're going to do, I know someone brought this up in the post show about the Nexus 2010 finish, where a bunch of people come and tear up the ring, and it's Wade Barrett. It's all the NXT season 1 folks. I really like that idea, and I think we're going to get that, and it's going to be Stokely's. It's going to be Stokely's boys.
The army of people he's recruited.
Who are all upset with the company. They're all off the card. None of them have done anything since they lost their match and were given the tickets, the golden business cards. And then their leader is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And Max has the army of the disgruntled AEW talent.
I like that.
So the pinnacle, but not boring.
Yeah, exactly. The pissed off pinnacle.
Yeah. What about that idea? But instead, it's Wade Barrett, Ryback. No.
And Ryback comes out with a bag of chips. Just a bag of chips.
Oh no. Oh no.
Cher Delaware is just like, what is happening? Because she sees that her name is under Kate's. Because I'm just using the 3 layover.
Oh, if I could be anybody in this world, I would love to be Hannah. She's the best.
As long as she brings a giant bottle of booze to your meet and greets, everyone's
happy. That's it. I wish I was as cool and hot as she is.
I guess I just want to do Danielson Jericho, and I want to do the 4-way for the women's championship. So let's do the 4-way. Storm Baker, Hayter, and Sheeta. What do we think? We need an interim champion. I think there are 2 ways this can go. I want to hear, Tim, your thoughts first.
I'm begging for Jamie Hayter to take it so that we get a better look at who she is, and they can actually develop her into a personality other than Britt's heavy, and then it'll sow some discord there, and it'll be a will they, won't they, like what's going to happen with it. I think that would be the most interesting way they could do it. The way that I think it's going to go is the coronation of Toni Storm, and then I'll be kind of continue to not really be all that interested in the AEW women's title.
Kate?
Oh, they've given you so many reasons to beat him, but
right?
It's a wild child of the 80s with a theme like heart.
Hearts. Barracuda.
I can't wait for them to give her a title and not care. I think it'll be Toni Storm, but I think Jamie Hayter turns on Britt. I think Britt turns face. I don't think it's going to go well, but I think then or maybe one of them turns on each other, and I think either way, Britt Baker ends up in the TBS title picture. I almost said TNT title picture.
the True TV title picture.
She's de-strapping Wardlow, Britt Baker.
I mean, listen, at this point, it seems like anybody could. So they ain't exactly pushing Wardlow very hard either. That's a whole other can of worms. We talked about the Motor City Machine Guns thing. This
greatest city in the world, Detroit.
Yeah, that was the weirdest heel promo. They give him listen, props for trying.
I don't think
you did every single heel promo in the book.
That.
You tried every heel promo in the book and it didn't exactly work. Anyway, I agree. Jamie Hayter, this should be her win. Make it interesting, make it fun, give a new person shine with the interim title, and then eventually have her face off against Thunder Rosa. I'm fine with that. However, I really do think they're just going to do Toni Storm because this was always Tony's plan. Now they just have to do the match at a later date and have Toni have a bunch of bangers and hopefully build her up. But at 9:30 p.m. Eastern every single Wednesday, you'll just have to figure it out then. There's nothing else there. Shida winning would be interesting, but like everyone's a former champion here, or not everyone. You know what I mean? Like everyone's just it's a cycle. We could have done something better. Whatever. Danielson and Jericho. I'm interested in this match only because these two guys have been around forever. I made the joke this past week that they did the Hager match because Jericho went to Tony Khan and was just like, hey, our cage match ratings are almost the same. And so I need you to sync Bryan Danielson's cage match rating. So give him a match with Jake Hager. And then he was wrong. And Bryan was like, watch me.
That's very funny.
So Danielson and Jericho for who's got a better cage match rating. Oh, and Daniel Garcia is involved too. Kate, who wins this match? Are you excited for it? Are you looking forward to it?
I am excited for it largely because I thought Jericho and Moxley put on a hell of a show. Like that, I think it's tapping into a really refreshing in-ring run from Jericho, which is good. It's so weird because my gut instinct says Danielson, but my wrestling mind says it's gonna have to be Garcia beats Jericho at some point to win his way out of the Jericho Appreciation Society into the Blackpool Combat Club. So wrestling brain says it's Jericho, but wrestling gut says there's no way that Jericho beats Danielson. So, but my prediction will be Jericho.
Timbo?
I kind of feel the exact same way. I think that's the way it's the direction it's taking. So Garcia gets involved. He's like the puppy torn between two potential owners. So
I think Bryan wins. And then they do shenanigans afterwards.
Okay.
That's fair.
I think Jericho tries to do the shenanigans and Garcia stops him.
He's like, no, be a good daddy.
Yeah. And again, this all ends up with Jericho being like, I did the thing that I told you I could do. Like I can be Lionheart. I was that guy. And I was the guy. And I wasn't popular until I became whatever, Le Champion, whatever gimmick he's going to bring up is like, no one cared about me until I put on this mask. He's going to do that because this whole story is Jericho being like, you can be Flippy Do Guy or Mr. Technical Wrestler, or you can be Mr. Sports Entertainer who's super duper rich. What do you want to do? You want to be an entertainer or you want to be a wrestler? Exactly. Now you're on the list.
An overarching question for both of you fellows, because I've gotten mixed answers on this and I'm intrigued. Do you think this is a Jericho retirement run of sorts? Like this, him bringing back these old iterations of himself. Do you think we're headed toward him retiring soon?
Jericho's been on a retirement tour since 2013.
Like that's
it's like, yeah.
It could be, but I also see him as someone who's going to do the Ric Flair until I'm dying in the ring thing.
That's fair.
So I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Hopefully,
it just depends. That's what I mean, though. Like it's either Jericho is like kind of smart or a total moron, and I don't know which is. I don't know.
I feel like part of the issue right now, like it feels that way to me, like it's reading that way, but I also feel like he can still actually kind of go. Like I feel like that Mox match was like a nice reminder.
Totally.
I think Jericho will throw literally every idea he has at Tony Khan, and Tony doesn't say no to him. I think Jericho was told once, hey, you keep reinventing yourself, and I think that's great. And lately he's just been like, I have to reinvent myself every 3 months instead of every 6 to 8 months like he used to. I liked that Jericho would reinvent himself every 6 to 8 months. I don't think I need to see Jericho reinvent himself every
6
to 8 weeks.
The branding tagline so frequently is weird. Like, I don't mind it like you said, like it could work, but now he's the wizard, and it's just like it's not even cohesive. Like, he's blending the ideas are bleeding into each other, and it's not really working. It's good to see him, in good shape and able to do the lion salt in a decent looking way again. But like, other than that, I don't know that it needs to be this elaborate.
And again, the Lionheart stuff was really, really smart if they'd have been for this match only and not started with the Mox match.
Yeah,
like Mox calling him out to do it was just like Mox being like, I want the old school Jericho. Okay, I get it. Like, just say I don't want the Painmaker. I want like classic Jericho. I want whatever, a man of 1,000 holds. Not because again, the Lionheart thing, now they're bringing it back. It makes more sense for this story with Daniel Garcia than it does for Mox calling him out. It felt like you burnt that appearance, quote unquote, before you should have.
Yeah.
There you go. Is that it? Is that all we're doing? Is nothing else tonight?
I think Athena ends. Yeah, I think so.
By the way, Tony Khan, if you're watching, I know you are. I'm still waiting for promo code that bitch at the Toronto Four Seasons Hotel. It has never been activated, and you and
false advertising.
You told me it was happening. I want that bitch promo. Let me know when it goes live. Where can the people find you on the internet, Kate?
At Shared Delaware. You can find me poppin' FTR. No, you can find me at Miss Kate Fame. You can also find me tonight on Fightful Select. We'll be doing the All Out post show, which I'm very excited about, behind the paywall. And we're going to be doing some weird beat the clock review gimmick after Worlds Collide for NXT, which I'm actually very excited about. There should be some great in-ring action tonight for that NXT situation. So join us.
Tim.
Think about me at Tim Stone P, TIMB, and EP, Twitter, Instagram.
Easy peasy. I am at Joel Pearl, JOELPERL. We're dropping content daily here at Fightful Overbooked. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, me on the binary. It's been extra long, but we'll see you in the next one. Enjoy All Out and cheers.